they've somehow found a way to slip inside of everybody's brain that they're not in control of this. It's some kind of witchcraft they work in, and witchcraft is manipulation, which means verbal words. All witchcraft is done by tongues. Whether you trying to cast a spell against somebody to kill them, or whether you just trying to manipulate, it's all witchcraft. It's the use of the tongue. I don't know what kind of witchcraft they're using to get people not to see this, but it's crazy.
I know that you are smarter than the average bear, and I know you are aware that this is not a normal Category 5 storm. Let's just start with the obvious. The eye wall is only like 3.8 miles wide, with a hurricane that's literally large enough to take up the entire Gulf of Mexico. Let's talk about where it formed and the path that it's taking. Let's go ahead and just talk about Noah and all the planes that it has going back and forth inside of it. And you can call that they're just out there monitoring the weather, or you can actually look at what they did 70 years ago when they seeded a hurricane that ended up killing people. You can decide to see this with spiritual eyes or stay in your physical mind and not be able to comprehend what you are looking at. But folks, let me make this very plain to you. Tampa, Florida, St. Pete's, Hillsborough, all those areas are not the Appalachian Mountains. It's two different types of people in those areas. Two different mindsets of people in those areas. The Appalachian Mountains are a conservative stronghold of people who follow the law, who love their neighbors, who go to church on Sundays, whose children and grandparents fought in wars for this country. Hillsborough County is a Democrat stronghold. It's a liberal stronghold. It's a demonic stronghold. When this storm hits these areas and does damage times 2 of what it did in the Appalachian Mountains, you're going to see two totally different responses to this storm. The Appalachian people got out there and they helped each other. They're documenting what the government has failed to do for them, and they're being verbal, but they're still following the law. What you're going to see in Tampa are gangs looting, killing, and destroying. You're going to see the Democrat stronghold whip itself up screaming, we can't have an election because, of the inequity and unfairness of hurricane response. Even though you just saw an entire 4-state region go 8 days before our sitting president and vice president sent in the military to even help these people. Imagine that area of Tampa going 8 days with people trapped in their homes. Now you're starting to see. If you are one of those people that were told to evacuate and you did not, I am very upset with you. And that's the only way I'm going to put it. This is not a normal storm. It was created by man to do just what it's fixing to do. And if you're in these areas, please understand your sheriff, your first responders, your National Guardsmen, they're not coming in to save you until the storm has totally passed, which means 24 to 36 hours dealing with the gangs and the looters and the illegals that you guys have in those areas. These people that live in Tampa are not like the people that live in the Appalachian Mountains. In fact, my husband and I were just talking about this the other day. When we go to Tampa to see our son, we drive with our pistol basically in our lap. It's out. It's not under the seat. It's not packed in the suitcase. It's visible and within hand's reach. Why? Because of the difference of people and the spirits that control that area. It is wicked. I know this because I visit a church that is in a battle for the spiritual control of Tampa Bay in Florida. They go to war 7 days a week, saving souls, pillaging hell, trying their best to take back the spiritual control of Tampa. And folks, what you're fixing to see happen is going to show you how bad it is in Tampa. This is going to make Katrina look like child's play. Let's just be honest. This is going to make Katrina look like child's play. And I have a feeling that they will push the election back because they're going to say, oh, these people can't vote. Oh my gosh, they're Democrats and you're not letting them vote. You haven't heard that once for the people in the Appalachian area and eastern United States. You haven't heard one person suggest pushing back the election because 4 states lost thousands of people. They have thousands missing. There's nowhere for these people to vote, and they don't have identification to be able to vote. They lost it all. You don't hear the Democrats suggesting we push that election off for that. But you watch what happens in Tampa. They're going to use this to try to keep Biden and Harris in office a little bit longer. I'm just so shocked at the amount of people that watch me that was given an evacuation order and then flat told me they're staying put. You've lost your collective minds. You have. And I'm going to tell you, I know for a fact, they're not coming in there to get you guys. They're not going to put a National Guardsman or a police officer or an EMT or a sheriff in danger because you decided to stay and you're trapped on your roof. They're going to leave you there until the storm has totally passed, and then they're going to put together rescues. And while you're sitting on your roof with your family without medication, without clean water, I hope you have a way to defend yourself, because we all know the types of people that live in your area, and they're going to come. They'll beat the police to your address. They absolutely will. And I'm just shocked that people think staying put in their house when there could be 20-foot surges is an okay thing to do. There's a time and a place. Because here's also the difference. You've all seen the helicopter that came down and destroyed all of those people's supplies for up there in North Carolina. I had that video on for you guys yesterday. Not one person pulled out a gun and started shooting at the helicopter. Though I saw a lot of comments of people saying, you should shoot at them. That's what they want. That is what they want. They want you to lose your mind and shoot at them. But see, people up in eastern United States have a little bit of class. They're a better bred type of people. They're harder to anger. They love their country. And though their angry supplies got damaged, they're not going to kill anybody over it. They're not going to shoot at a helicopter over it. It's not the same in Tampa. It's just not. Every time I go, there's like chalk outlines of bodies and you know, there's shootouts all around you and the police everywhere and people running from the cops. It's not a good area to be in. And you guys have decided that staying in your house with a category man-made 5 hurricane barreling down on you was a good idea. All I'm going to say is, did you actually pray about that? Because I've heard this from a lot of people. God's brought me through other storms. God also gave you a brain. He expects you to use it, folks. This is not a normal storm. The response to the storm is not going to be normal. It's going to match the storm. It's going to be uncontrollable. It's going to be out of character. And you better remember that we are battling in a spiritual realm, not a physical. And this time around, when people are coming in to rescue, you're going to see people shoot at them. And that's all it's going to take for martial law That's all it's going to take for them to send in the cavalry. That's all it's going to take for a bunch of people to start screaming that this is racist if we try to have the election. Because, oh my gosh, people in Florida, the Democrat areas, they can't vote. Even though Tennessee, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, most of them can't vote either. But it's not going to matter, because the way conservatives respond to storms and the aftermath, and the way that liberals respond to storms and aftermath, is two different ways. And this is fixing to be 101 on why one side is calm and collected and assured their place in heaven, and the other side is just straight on a road to hell, folks. And I pray that if you can get out, you do get out. Please stay in contact with us. We will, if need be, start collecting money for individual families that are on this platform and getting it sent to them as the storm progresses. All I can say is that we love you guys so much, but please get out if you can. Please get out while you can. We can help you build your house back, baby. We can do it. This platform can do it. But we can't bring you back from under 10 foot of water. I've got one short clip on the back side of this. Please listen to what he's saying. He's 100% correct. This is not going to be good. And don't tell me I should be speaking against it. I prayed against it last night. It's just, I understand what's happening on a spiritual level, and you guys better get ready.
Of Florida is without power and they can't vote, and we have a whole state that would be underrepresented and they can't vote, then we're gonna have to postpone the election. Furthermore, watch this. Watch how wicked this is. Tampa, Democratic stronghold. Orlando, Democratic stronghold. Oh, our people are not going to be able to vote, and it's not fair that the Democrats aren't going to be able to vote in those cities because it's been a natural disaster. And then their people will go crazy. They can rev up the engine of the Democratic constituents to say, oh, it's racist and it's this. So expect to be called racist. Expect to talk about the racism around disaster relief. But again, they're in control. But they've somehow found a way to slip inside of everybody's brain that they're not in control of this. It's some kind of witchcraft they work in, and witchcraft is manipulation, which means verbal words. All witchcraft is done by tongues. Whether you trying to cast a spell against somebody to kill them, or whether you just trying to manipulate, it's all witchcraft. It's the use of the tongue. I don't know what kind of witchcraft they're using to get people not to see this, but it's crazy. So, with that being said, we're going back to what I was talking about. Fully expect more of this, where you see the military doing the exact opposite of what they should do. In this case, they're doing rotorwashes over places. Crazy. They trying to give out disaster supplies, and he literally just did an entire rotor wash over the place where the supplies are. That's crazy. I got to see it from the other side. You want to know why they're doing it? Because they want somebody to take a shot at the helicopter. That's why they're doing it. They want one of you guys to take a shot at the helicopter. And here's what's going to happen. If they can't get someone to take a shot that's there, they're going to put somebody on the ground and have them take a shot. Because they want y'all to take a shot at them, bro. They want you to take a shot at them. They want you to get upset and shoot at them. That's why they did it. So they can roll back in and roll out whoever they want to come and kill you.
Some break records. They're going to do nothing but break records for their so-called climate change.